they can come in and we continue the sitting. Excuse me, not necessarily adjourn to the next day, but for us to continue. So that is the proposal. Yes. So if suggestions from honorable members can do the counting and then. Yes, Serakunda.
Honorable Speaker, when we first said the quorum is 1/2, when we first sit, the quorum is 1/2. One half of the.
In fact, I'm being told that I think now we have a quorum. Is it? Can we just confirm? Please, it's confirmed. Can you confirm? We have the chat and it should be easy. It should be very easy for us to. Now we have a quorum. A quorum now exists. The quorum, so we can start our proceedings. But then I would want to use the relevant standing orders again to suspend for the time being number 2 on the agenda, which is the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of yesterday, Tuesday, the 30th of March, 2020. Honorable members will recall that the sitting lasted very late yesterday and the technical team had some challenges doing the corrections and final printing, so it's just being circulated. So I think honorable members will need time to go through the records, in which case I'm proposing that we go straight to the third item, which is the questions for oral answers, understanding order 36 and clauses 36 and 41. So clerk, can we proceed with that? Thank you.
Questions for oral answers in reference to Standing Order 36 and 41. The Honourable Minister for Lands and Regional Government.
Thank you very much. Questions for which due notices were given to the Honourable Minister for Lands and Regional Government by honourable members for oral reply. Honourable member for, question number 225 of 2020 by the Honourable member for Ilyasa.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honourable Speaker, can the Honourable Minister for Lands and Regional Government provide this Assembly with the nature and the breakdown of spending of $250 million in the Community Development Emergency Program?
Honourable Speaker, Community Development was not coordinating any emergency program. However, National Social Safety Network, coordinated by NANA, National Nutrition Agency, and funded by the World Bank and the government of the Gambia, is jointly implemented by the Department of Community Development and Social Welfare.
Thank you. I am aware that this distribution of this emergency fund, and there are certain wards within my constituency are not affected, like Ilyasa, Kaja ward, and Nokunda ward, and as well as Pandal ward. Thank you.
No, I am not aware. And even if it happened, like I said, the community development was not directly responsible for the distribution of those funds.
Just confirm that that's your second supplementary. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. Do inquire, because as far as you are concerned, we are the Minister of Law Government. Whether you inquire whether they are affected or not. You make any inquiries? Thank you.
Yes, I can find out.
Questions? Yes, Woolly East, thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, is the government running any community emergency program under any ministry?
I think that's a bit of a difficult question. I am not responsible for the entire government. I am only responsible for my ministry. And if a question is directed to my ministry, I will be in a position to answer. But for the whole government, I don't think I'm in a position to answer for the whole government. Well, I still maintain that answer. Maybe I'm not the right minister to address that question.
Thank you. Yes, honorable members? Any further clarification? No? Okay, thank you very much then. Thank you very much. Question number, please, can we have one meeting so that we'll be able to follow the proceedings? Question number 67 of 2021 by the Honorable Member for Serekunda. 67 of 2021.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Would the Honorable Minister for Lands and Regional Government give an inventory of the land owned by Serekunda and indicate how the Alkali of Serekunda is to be assisted to ensure that the land is put into good use for the benefit of the residents who are currently deprived of all recreational facilities.
Honorable Minister, land in Serekunda, just like all other parts of the country, are owned by clans, families, and individuals. As such, there is no inventory under the ownership of Serekunda. However, compulsory acquisition and compensation can be applied in collaboration with the Alkali for public and planning purposes within Serekunda.
Two supplementaries.
Honorable Speaker, would the Honorable Minister indicate whether the alkalis the alkali in Serekunda is not under the control of any property belonging to that clan?
It is possible, but as at the moment, not to my knowledge.
Has any investigation been done after the question was put? If not, would the Honorable Minister conduct investigation in that regard?
It's just received a few days ago, but I promise that after the answers here, I will do my investigations and I will notify the honorable member accordingly.
Honorable Member, yes, Central Badibu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, is it the responsibility of your ministry to take inventories, or you can delegate it to the councils also to take inventories for you? If so, can you tell us the relationship between your ministry and the councils as far as inventories of lands are concerned?
I will have, according to law, I will have to do a research on the law and then be able to tell you whether it is the mandate of the ministry or it could be delegated to the local councils.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Why can't we make a research? Welcome to the National Assembly. So that you can inform us. Thank you.
Can you repeat your
I
question?
said, why can't we make a research? Welcome to the National Assembly so that you can inform us.
Exactly what I have said. I said I will do the research and I will inform the assembly.
What was the response to Central Badibu's question? Yes, Woolly East, and that's the last supplementary. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, the issue is about recreational facilities also. The people are deprived of recreational facilities. Can your ministry make added effort to ensure that the people of Serekunda are provided some space so that they can have recreational facilities?
We have the request from the authority in Serekunda. We will make those such efforts.
Thank you, Honorable members. Question number 68 of 2021 by the Honorable Member for Ileasa. 68. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Lands, Rural Government and Lands, to inform the Assembly how much building permits we are paid or collected from the year 1991 to 2021, respectively? Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, the Ministry through the Department of Physical Planning and Housing is compiling the data required as most of it is found in already closed files. The final compiled data will be provided through the Office of the Clerk as soon as possible.
Honorable Speaker, I'm not very much comfortable because this question has been pushed to them since Tuesday. Why can't you make that research so that you can inform the National Assembly? Because it's a very important question. They should give us on time because this question has been given to them almost about 2 weeks or more. They should be prepared to inform the National Assembly because it's a very important question. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, the question that is asked came during this session. And I have just said those files are already closed. Most of them are in the archives. And we have other responsibilities that we carry on. And it will be very difficult to be able to dig out all those records within the archives. So as soon as we are through here, I promise we will do this research, and as we get the figures, I will forward it to the clerk.
Honorable members, yes, lower, upper, is it no, lower Badibu, yes, lower Badibu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We would like to ask the Honorable Minister, how soon would that be? We would like to know the time frame, because the statement that you have...
from 1991 to 2021 is a huge gap. I will not be able to give you precisely as to what time frame it will take us to compile the data. But we will do it, and as soon as it's possible, we will fall into the cloud.
I think what we can do, just to assist, to expedite, is to maybe assign one of the committee clerks to pursue them so that they will provide the required data as soon as possible. At least we can facilitate that. Thank you. Any more? Thank you. Yes, then we can proceed. Yes, thank you very much, Honorable thank you. You see, the interruptions are coming from all sides of the assembly, so you wouldn't know whether it's private conversation or some honorable members who wish to take the floor. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for the responses provided, and I hope the last question will be dealt with expeditiously. Thank you very much. You are now released. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, before we leave.
You see, Honorable, I think we should be concentrating on the proceedings so that we don't have to go backwards and forwards.
I am on the proceedings. I was just making a little bit of research regarding a question I asked since, which was due to be answered in December. I was informed by the table office that they received the answers very late, and I just want the Honorable Minister to kindly explain to us why, because this question was due since December last year, and he informed me that they were going on tour and couldn't come to answer the question. And still now the question wasn't on the order paper because they received it very late. So I just want to understand what is going on regarding these questions and why they are not answering on time.
Yeah, I don't know which question specifically you're referring to.
Honorable,
can you listen? We've received a series and series of complaints of a similar nature, and we are trying to put up mechanisms to pursue the ministries to ensure that questions are answered on time. We follow them up to the last day, and it's a challenge that we are having, but the problem is not on the National Assembly, but on the ministries. The National Assembly sends all the questions well ahead of time. So that's what I'm saying, that we're trying to put up a mechanism to ensure that questions are responded to on time. But I don't know whether the Honorable Minister is aware of this particular question, and then maybe you may be able to offer some form of explanation.
Speaker.
What's the number? What's the number question? Or can I have a copy of it?
Yeah, it's 224 2020.
Can you give it to them? Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I believe we had a series of questions. One of them is 225 of 2020, which I have just answered. It came in the same letter that with the question being asked now. They are all on the same page. It was submitted. What happens in the House here is beyond our control. It was answered, and it was answered along with question 225, which has been addressed. So I don't think it's the fault of the ministry. Whatever happens, that's beyond our control.
I'm saying that at least the response has now arrived and the table office will handle it. But we cannot have it today because it's not on the order paper. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, if you may allow me just to inform the Minister that the response is only to one part of the question. They did not respond adequately to the question.
Yeah, you have a right, during the supplementary, you have a right to ask for the clarification. Thank you. No, I think we will proceed. Please, can we ensure that it's there? Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. We had similar problems with Ilyasa, we had it with Serekunda, and also Sabasanjal. Thank you. Clerk, can we proceed, please? Thank you.
Thank you. Question for oral answers continues. The Honorable Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Questions for which due notices were given to the Honorable Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources for oral reply. Question number 60 of 2021 by the Honorable Member for Kiang West. Kiang West?
I've been authorized to read.
Kiang Central, we have to confirm the authority was given. Okay, right. Thank you. Yes, go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Forestry tell this August Assembly the total revenue collected from all regional forests in terms of fines, filing of permits and licenses?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, though there is no time frame to the question, we use our discretion to give you the most recent. Madam Speaker, the following are the details of revenue collected from all regional forest offices in terms of fines, permits, and license. Revenue output 2020. In West Coast region, in terms of royalties collected, $945,208. Confiscation of illegal products, forest products, $465,900. Court fines from West Coast region, $26,000. Permits and license, $623,250. A total in West Coast region of $2,060,358. Lower River region, the total royalties collected, $413,850. Confiscation of illegal products from the forest, $240,200. Court fines, $16,900. Permits and license, $78,000. Total revenue collected from Lower River region, $748,950. Central River region, North. We have two regions, both North and South. Central River region, North. In terms of royalties collected, $53,505. Confiscation of illegal products from the forest, $6,500. Court fines, $114,200. Permits and license, $20,000. A total of $149,205 collected from Central River region North. Central River region South. Total royalty collected, $278,010. Confiscation of illegal products, $55,000. Court fines, $10,000. No permits or license fees were collected during this period. And a total of $343,010 were collected from Central River region South. Upper River region. Upper River region. Total royalty collected stand at $225,075. Confiscation of illegal products from the forest, $266,910. And court fines, $36,000. permits and license $139,500, and a total of $667,485 were collected from Upper River region. North Bank region, a total of $206,000 were collected in terms of royalty, confiscation of illegal products from the forest, $176,968, court fines $119,750, and permits and license $15,000. A total of $517,718 were collected from North Bank region. The technical unit, we have a technical unit that is also responsible for plantation. And these plantations, they have some products that they extract from the forest and sell. In terms of royalties collected, as the total of $162,741 were collected for 2020. Bigelow Forest Park, that is here. Bigelow Forest Park, in terms of tickets, because we have tourists who come and buy ticket or individual to enter the forest. In terms of those, we collected $1,672,300 for the year 2020, on a total of $1,672,300. Gambia Ports Authority, in terms of royalty, $4,434,600 were collected. And that stands for the total of revenue collected in forms of royalty from the Ports Authority. And this gives a total of royalties collected in 2020, $8,391,289. $322,850, and permits and license, a total of $875,750 were collected, and the total revenue for 2020 combined is $10,801,367.
Honorable Minister, before we take the supplementaries, I think this must have been a slip of the tongue. Can you read it again so that we will have the correct figure for the records? If I got you right, you read 221 as opposed to 211. That is the total confiscations.
Sorry,
just to get it corrected.
For confiscation. The total is 1,211,478,000. Thank you.
Yes, Kiang Central, is it for Kiang West? Thank you.
Very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm just appealing that we have these figures written and then, if possible, circulated to the honorable members. They are very important.
Thank you. We will do that.
The response.
Honorable Speaker.
Sorry, is it a supplementary?
It's just an observation. I said it's an observation. Well, I think we have to adopt that practice, that whenever they come with their answers, we have them circulated, because that has not been happening. Yeah. And it's important. Their responses, we have them circulated, yes. Thank you. As a matter of practice, yes. Okay.
They do the printing, so
yes,
that we'll save on costs from the National Assembly.
Oh.
The ministers can do that.
That's a good suggestion.
Yes.
Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, you want to shift that cost to the ministries. Okay.
No, but this time around, just to expedite the process, we will do it. Okay. But then, in future, we'll make sure that the responsibility lies with the different ministries. I'm sure Agriculture is hearing us, and the others. Thank you. Kiang West, are we okay? Yes, thank you. Yeah. Bintang Karalai for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, you talked about the confiscated products. So when these products are confiscated, how are they sold? Do you auction them? If yes, you auction them, how do you auction them?
Thank you. This is a very important question, Honorable Speaker. In the Act, there is a provision that provides that when such products are confiscated, you don't just sell them like that. You have to obtain what we call magistrate order. And but in the Act empowers either a magistrate, governor, or the RFO, the regional forest officer, to obtain this from those authorities to give you the order for you to sell this. And when this is done, now you have the authority to dispose it. Now you invite other people who are interested in getting this, and then this is paid, and then you paid it into the National Forest Fund. This is how the process goes.
Thank you. Yes, Kalinding.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, it's like people are paying more fine than paying lancing. I don't know what is the criteria used for the issuance of lancing, because looking at CRR South, the amount of money being fined by timber businessmen is very huge compared to the money that they pay for lancing.
CRR South?
Yes.
The amount they pay for court fine. Honorable Member for telling me, can you repeat that again?
Going through the figure, I believe CRR South have more huge amount from paying confiscation
yeah.
than
court fines.
Than court fines.
Yes.
So I don't know what are the criteria of issuance of lancing. Why they don't want to go in for lancing, or
no, this is why you see the court fines and the permit, because this you don't see permits and license. That means that they are engaged in an illegal activity. So when they are caught, you take the magistrate order against them by a court of law, or the court fines them. So this is why you see these figures high for them, because there is no permit issue.
Yes, I don't know whether the criteria that they use to issue them lancing is difficult, because they pay little amount for the lancing, but they prefer going in for this.
Honorable, please.
Yes,
you have only one supplementary question.
Madam, I was
but that was my I'm coming.
Can
you just reframe your supplementary?
Yes, I was doing
coherently so that it will be one, rather than going step by step.
It's exactly what I am doing, ma. But the minister didn't get me right. That's why I was explaining.
Be coherent.
This is exactly what I did, ma.
Okay.
Look, the criteria for issuing permit is you have to go to the regional forest office to apply either to become a vendor, like wood selling vendor, or charcoal selling vendor, or any other product from the forest. That is when you go and obtain the license. But when you are found selling this without and you cannot produce this, that means that you are illegally engaged in it. So that is what brought about this.
Irkama South, your tag was on. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, do you have separated or accumulated accounts for the revenues mentioned? If so, who manages them or it respectively?
The revenue, when it is paid, we have an account at the central bank called the National Forest Fund, where the RFOs, the regional forest officers in charge of the regions, are responsible. We have revenue collectors who collect and deposit this to this particular account, and then the payment slip is deposited with the regional office and the Department of Forestry.
Yes, thank you,
So
Central
the fund is not in the hands of an individual. It goes into the National Forest Fund.
Yes, Central Badibu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, you made mention of lancings. Now, and we all agree that our forest resources are in scarce, and we have global warming taking place. Are you still continuing giving lancings to people to deplete the forest, or what kind of lancings do you give, basically?
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I think this is a very important question. When we say our forest resource is being depleted, yes, it is true, it's being used, but we have to use it in a more responsible manner. Without a licensing system, you are opening a floodgate. So that is why the licensing is there to control the use of these resources in a more sustainable manner. So that is why the licensing is important, Honorable Member for Central Party.
Thank you, honorable members. I'm sorry, Serekunda had nominated. I had already drawn the line, exceeded our limit. Wooly East. I had Wooly East and Ilyasa. I'm sorry. You should have raised your tags earlier on.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, does the ministry engage in settling cases out of court, or are you just dependent on court judgment in terms of confiscation of wood?
Honorable Speaker, this depends on the gravity of the offense committed. If the quantity confiscated is high, you cannot settle that out of court. You have to refer that to a competent court. And in this case, we have some constraints in terms of our traditional courts, because the fines that are set are too minimal. So you can see, even if you will speak to the SAFOs in their tribunals, you will see repeated offenses, because the fines that they impose, there is a cap that they cannot exceed. So this is one thing that we are trying to address in amending the penalty clause of the Forest Act. But yes, sometimes it do happen.
Ilyasa.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And now I am asking, who are the people responsible for this, to confiscate these illegal timbers? Who are the people responsible? Because some are from Senegal.
By law, the regional forest officers and all other forest officers who are assigned to do this, they are given the power by the director to act on his behalf, and also our law enforcement agents. They are all responsible for ensuring the forest products, illegal forest products, are impounded.
Thank you very much. Question number 61 of 2020 by the Honorable Member for Fonyi Jaron. Thank you. I hope your vote. Honorable Speaker.
Okay, good morning, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much.
No, I am just rectifying you. It's 2021, not 2020, for the records. Yes. Question number 61 of 2021. Honorable Member for Fonyi Jaron.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Now, Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Forestry and the Environment update this Assembly on the findings of the $417 million worth of illicit timber smuggled from the Gambia to China between the year 2017 to 2020 by JANAR Procurement and Agency Services? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, for consistency purpose, I would just want to draw the attention of the desk office that the title of this ministry is Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources. It keeps changing, and for consistency purpose, I just want to draw your attention. Madam Speaker, my ministry has not received any findings of USD 417 million worth of illicit timber smuggled from the Gambia to China between the year 2017 to 2020 by China Procurement and Agency Services.
Okay, thank you. Well, now I just want to ask, are you aware of this China Procurement Service? Are you aware of this agency?
Yes, this agency, I have not received any formal notification that is involved in illicit timber link between the Gambia and China. That's what I want to emphasize.
Excuse me, my question is, I'm not asking you whether you are aware of these agencies' smuggling of illicit timbers, but are you aware of the existence of this agency?
Yes.
But you see, if you raise your tax early enough, you can go ahead, Jake.
Sometimes your questions come from their answers, so you cannot. Just to clarify, Minister, is the minister telling us that you've never heard of this $417 million illicit timber? You've never been notified about it, or it doesn't exist, or what happened? So we know.
What I'm reporting to this assembly is that we are not aware of it. We don't know about it. Thank you.
Lower Fuladu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, would it be possible to stop all the companies that are dealing and exporting timber outside the country, especially the Chinese companies, so as to protect our forests?
Of course, Honorable Speaker, perhaps the National Assembly members should be following developments within ministries. This has been done so long ago. But you see, sometimes when you are within a setup, it's difficult at certain point. But we have stopped this so long ago. Since I have invited the minister responsible for forest and sustainable development in Senegal. We have sat and discussed about the modality of how we practically stop this illegal trade. And we come up with resolutions between the two ministries and at the level of the heads of states as well. So this has been stopped since that in 2017, 2018.
Thank you. Fonyi Bintang.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minister, as far as you said, we didn't receive anything about this issue. Can you make any findings as far as you have notified now? Can you make any findings for us?
Thank you. We will do so.
Honorable Member for Birama North.
I think I have also a related or similar supplementary question to that. The PN question required an update, and the minister did indicate that he has not received any findings or is not aware of any formal investigation. Now, what I'm interested for the minister to clarify, whether actually you are aware of such happening. If so, what is your ministry doing about that?
I think I have answered his question, that we are not aware of it. And we have measures and strategies that I have just explained. And if I just go through all the process.
Question for oral answers continues.
the Honorable Minister for Agriculture.
Thank you. Questions for which due notices were given to the Honorable Minister for Agriculture by honorable members for oral reply. Question number 232 of 2020 by the honorable member for Sandu. Thank you. My honorable member for Sandu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Agriculture inform this August Assembly if there are plans to renovate all seed stores in the country?
Honorable Speaker, it is my pleasure to inform this August Assembly that there are plans by Ministry to renovate seed stores under the National Seed Secretariat countrywide. An assessment had been done and looking forward to funds to start the renovation process. It is also important to note that not all the seed stores countrywide are under the National Seed Secretariat. My ministry is aware of their existence and is looking forward to develop a proposal to rehabilitate them in due course.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, could you kindly provide us with the list of seed stores that are under National Seed Secretariat?
Okay, thank you very much. We will provide it, but at the moment I don't have the list, but we'll provide it.
Can be sent to the office of the clerk and it will be made available. Thank you. Yes, Woolley is, yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, does the seed stores under the National Seed Secretariat, are they across the country or they are just one part or the other? Does it encompass the whole country, including Woodley?
Thank you very much for that question. It's across the country because they are selected seed stores.
Sami.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, what criteria did you use to categorize seed stores that are supposed to be on the National Seed Secretariat?
Thank you very much. You know, some of the seed stores were established during the colonial times. So for the recent one with National Seed Secretariat, these are seed stores established by the WA project. So it's under the National Seed Secretariat.
Thank you. Nyani.
Sorry, thank you, Madam Speaker. There is a seed store at Sukuta which has been taken by police. So is that seed store going to be withdrawn?
Thank you very much for mentioning that. I think as our stakeholders, it's our responsibility, especially an MP of that constituency, to see to it that the community have sustainability with those seed stores, because it's established by the government and it belongs to the community. So therefore, all of us should play a role so that to ensure sustainability. So I think we need to look into that. Yes.
Yes, Serakunda West.
Thank you. My question is somehow similar to Sami. There are seed stores that are torn police stations. Are there any plans for your ministry to regain those seed stores?
That's a vital question. As a ministry, we need to collaborate with the select committee, especially the parliamentarians, because those seed stores belong to the community, so that we'll negotiate to retrieve those seed stores.
Thank you. Yes, Kantora.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for giving the answers. Yeah, my concern is, having done your assessment and you want to embark on refurbishment or renovation now, even if you look at what's happening in Kantora, whereby the mixed farming center is occupied by armed forces. Now, the question here concerning the state store, what mechanism do you put in place now, whereby the issue of maintenance, routine maintenance, so that this building can serve their purpose? What roadmap do you develop in terms of engaging the community to put it as a policy document in terms of making this facility durable?
The mixed farming center you mentioned, as a minister, I engage the Minister of Interior so that at least we can have that mixed farming center. And as a ministry also, we are rehabilitating the mixed farming centers, because at the moment 12 mixed farming centers has been rehabilitated, and we will continue with the rehabilitation.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Question number 233 of 2020 by the Honorable Member for Banjul North. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this August Assembly was informed that the government has plans to reintroduce the farmers' cooperative societies for agricultural producers. Would the Honorable Minister for Agriculture inform this August Assembly how far this has gone, and when will the cooperatives be established to ease the difficulties that the farmers go through in selling their produce?
Honorable Speaker, it is of great value to inform this August Assembly on the developments the Minister of Agriculture has registered from consultancy on the revitalization of the cooperatives to provision and approval of a cabinet paper by the ministry. FAO, in collaboration with my ministry, contributed to the provision of a well-articulated policy document entitled National Cooperative Policy for the Gambia 2021-2030. The policy is comprehensive, as it is not only limited to agricultural cooperatives, but also other types of cooperatives, such as the multipurpose, finance and credit unions, housing, transportation, consumer cooperatives, among others. Furthermore, last week, FAO donated a new pickup vehicle, 2 laptops, and a printer to my ministry towards the revitalization of cooperative and through the implementation of the cooperative policy. As we speak, there are well-seasoned veterans cooperative experts that form a task force committee set up by the ministry and the FAO involving stakeholders in the cooperative development. The task force committee has those set planned for the launching of the cooperative policy document by December 2020, a roadmap for the cooperative revival process, cooperative revitalization 3 years action plan, proposed organogram for the Department of Cooperative Development, proposed structure and the budget for the new Department of Cooperative Development, summary of a base manpower budget, allowance and the development estimate for the new Department of Cooperative Development for the year 2021. However, the ministry is challenged with budget constraints so as to fund and facilitate the implementation of the activities to be conducted by the task force committee that is geared towards the smooth revitalization of the cooperatives in the country. Efforts needed to be made sooner rather than later towards the mobilization of funds to enable the ministry to revive the cooperative sector.
Thank you. Yes, Banjul North, you have any supplementary or you're satisfied?
Well, yes, I'm partly satisfied. I just want to know whether the efforts have started to mobilize the resources to get the process going.
Thank you very much. In fact, the policy has been validated, and we are trying to mobilize resources with our partners, that's FAO.
Any further supplementary on this question? No? Okay. Thank you very much. We move on to question number 235 by the, by the Honorable Member for Upper Salem.
You skip.
Please, I'm going by my records. 235 of 2020 by the Honorable Member for Upper Salem. Please.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, would the Honorable Minister for Agriculture confirm to this August Assembly the total tonnage of groundnuts purchased by GGC from 2015 to 2019, and what exactly did they do with these purchased groundnuts?
Honorable Speaker, the National Food Security Processing and Marketing Corporation, formerly Gambia Groundnut Corporation, has been purchasing groundnuts and processing the same through decorticating and crossing into three main products: hand-picked selected, crude groundnut oil, and the groundnut cake. The table below gives the total annual purchases and the dried products from 2015 to 2019. 2015, quantity purchase, 21,738. Then the hand-picked selected one, 2,249. Crude oil, 4,247. Groundnut cake, that's groundnut cake, 6,662. Then 2016, 12,000 was purchased, 701. Then hand-picked selected, 2,216. Then crude oil, 2,106. Groundnut cake, 2,917. Then 2017, quantity purchased, 3,234. Hand-picked selected, 432. Crude oil, 580. Groundnut cake, 997. Then 2018, total purchase, 37,608. Hand-picked selected, 1,325. Crude oil, 6,012. Then groundnut cake, 10,552. Then 2019, quantity purchase, 27,187. Hand-picked selected, 5,374. Crude oil, 3,062. Groundnut cake, 5,540. It is important to note that the quantity of groundnut purchased in any 1 year is usually determined by the national production volume, and at the times unfavorable prices differentiate between the Gambia and the neighboring Senegal. The national production is in turn affected by the rainfall pattern. The hand-picked selected and the crude oil are exported to the international markets, and the groundnut cake is sold to both the local and the regional market for animal feed.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Now, by looking at what actually happened in 2019 in terms of the hand-picked and the crude oil which are exported, are there any strategies
that the ministry actually have to increase the export so that it can help generate more foreign exchange for the country?
Thank you very much. As a ministry, I'm trying to liaise with my sister ministry, the trade minister, so that we can also engage the Chinese so that they can be part of our groundnut production to improve groundnut production in this country. That's what is our intention. And then not only that, even the marketing of groundnut. Because even our neighboring country, they are using the Chinese to purchase their peanuts. So we can also go for that arrangement. That's our intention as a ministry.
Yes, thank you. And the last question would be, is the ministry on any program that would change the type of groundnut that we actually have in this country in terms of, that would give high value in terms of price and also in terms of oil production? Is there any plan, are there any plans to change the current groundnut that we have in this country?
Thank you very much. We have the National Agriculture Research Institution, and they are working very hard. At the moment, they have almost quite a number of different varieties. If I can fully remember, it's around 53 different varieties. But I will inform you, and I will give you the list of those groundnuts. They are working on it, and possible this coming rain season, they might distribute some to the farmers.
Yes, thank you, Law Fuladu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, does your ministry has any plan to protect the groundnut industry and also to motivate the local farmers so that they will not sell their nuts to our neighboring countries? Thank you.
Thank you very much. That also depends on the price, because if you look at last year's price and this year's price, it's quite different. There is a lot of increment this year. So come next season also, we'll look into it. It depends on the price to convince the farmers. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, I think as far as the pricings are concerned, you need more engagement with other relevant stakeholders like finance, and trade as well. Will you mind to further engage them before the season so that, if there can be a kind of a cooperation between Gambia and China, because the Chinese people are giving money to Senegalese to come and buy our ground. So why not we engage the Chinese themselves so that our local traders can be involved in the groundnut processing, or our institute that is mandated to buy the ground?
Thank you very much. That's what is our intention. As I mentioned earlier, I'm trying to engage the trade minister, and I also include the finance minister, so that we can approach the Chinese ambassador in country to bring more Chinese to purchase our groundnuts.
Thank you, Sarah Kunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Wouldn't the Honorable Minister see the linkage between the production of groundnuts and the processing into oil? And what does she have to say regarding the benefit economically? Would it be to process the groundnuts and sell the oil, or to maintain a groundnut sector which only sell the raw groundnuts without processing? What is the policy of the government with regard to that?
To sell the raw groundnut, that means we're looking in for the foreign exchange, so that Gambia can have a lot of foreign exchange. And if we process into crude oil also, we can also provide the local market. They will also have quality oil. I think that's a very good point. I will try to consider that as a ministry so that we can engage some private people, especially for the crude oil. Because even it is processed, it needs a lot of sensitization to create awareness so that people can also appreciate the groundnut oil.
Thank you. Brikama Sal.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, in your response, you did mention that you are going to engage the Trade Minister and the Ministry of Finance to engage the Chinese to buy this groundnut from us. So I just want to know whether they are going to buy it through GGC or directly from the farmers. What strategy are you going to employ in order not to make GGC completely redundant?
The strategy we're going to employ is that we invite Chinese to work closely with GGC so that GGC will not be redundant. That's the strategy we're going to employ.
Yes, okay, it was Woolly East.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we all know that the amount of Gambian grounds going into Senegal is being done because of the difference in price. Senegal is offering more money to our farmers than the GGC. So what effort or strategy is the ministry coming so that the competition in terms of price will be level to ensure that Gambian groundnut is bought by Gambian companies so that we maintain our economy?
The strategy we're going to use, I think I mentioned it earlier. The Senegalese are using the Chinese. They're coming through Senegal. I think we will also seize that opportunity to liaise with the Chinese to come to the Gambia so that they can work with our GGC. But I want to tell you that even if we increase our price of groundnut 100%, they will also increase it again. That's the challenge we have to see.
Thank you very much. We now move on to the next question, 236 of 2020 by the Honourable Member for Woolly East.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the two communities of Sutukowa and Fodekunda are beneficiaries of the NEMA project, which has now phased out without completion of the water system in those gardens. Can the Honorable Minister for Agriculture shed more light on the issue and how she intends to address the situation so as to ensure that production commences in the two gardens during the 2020 season that appears overtaken? Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, it is with great importance that I inform this August Assembly that the gardens in question are part of the 17 gardens contracted only for civil works, development, the skin link fence, reservoirs, toilets, and the farmhouse. Please see the list of the 17 gardens below. Names of the sites and the region. Bani, CRR North, Batijaha, CRR North, Changai, CRR North, Jisadi, CRR North, Wijahanka, CRR North, Jen Sanjal, North Bank Region, Kunting, CRR North, Njawara, North Bank Region, Yalal Tankonjala, North Bank Region, Boy Fulabe, CRR South, Sololo Mandinka, CRR South, Kama URR, Misira URR, Safalu, Sangule, and the Jallokunda Cluster URR, Sutukoba URR, Suduwol URR, Fodekunda URA. The water supply system were not part of the contracted works for these gardens. The reason for this being that at the time of planning this work, NEMA's funds were found to be insufficient due to some unforeseen foreign exchange losses of about 2 million. It was further considered that the time remaining to the project completion date, 31st December 2019, was insufficient to fully complete the civil works and the installation of water supply and the distribution system across all 17 schemes. They plan a way forward to complete the gardens and render them operational was that the NEMA project completion report mission will visit these gardens to assess the completion of contracted works and make recommendations for the upcoming routes project to provide the water supply and distribution networks. As part of the new project, investment will upscale NEMA achievements. The project completion report mission has indeed visited some of these gardens, and such recommendations will be made in NEMA report as part of the agreed action for inclusion in the routes project. Thank you for your concern, but be assured that all these gardens will be completed as part of routes first year implementation.
Let me ask, Woolley is first.
Yes.
You don't have any supplementary?
Yes. What is not clear to me, Honorable Speaker, is it that all the 17 gardens are affected, or is only Woolley East and Woolley West that is affected? That the water system is not complete.
Okay, why I mentioned the 17 garden schemes, all these 17 garden schemes were affected, and it will be completed by the routes project.
Okay, I'm fine.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think the Minister has touched an area from Incantura that I have a great concern, and the Sudwal. However, I want to know from the Minister when does he plan a specific time frame to commence the road project, having gone through assessment and identify those affected areas. Those specifically, those you want to really roll out that road project. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It will be started this year because the project has already been established. National launching has been done, regional launching has been done, and the work plan has been sent to IFAD for approval.
Thank you. Central Badibu.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, the said gardens that the member of Woodley is talking about, we went there, and I believe that was a project. Now, what happened to the project until we reach up to this level? I said, what led to the stoppage of the work at the site?
Because of the foreign exchange rate, there were differences up to 2 million. So that affect the completion. But nonetheless, because of NEMA performances, they were able to have routes project. So routes project will complete the remaining 17 garden schemes. Yes, because we cannot return the money to IFAD. That's why we started the 17 garden schemes. Previously, it was only 33 garden schemes, but we did extra 17 garden schemes, so that we will not return the balance of money to IFAD.
Yes, any further supplementary questions, honorable members? Thank you. Can we then move over to question number 234 of 2020 by the honorable member for Jimara? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Agriculture inform this August Assembly whether his ministry has any plan to construct cattle drinking point within Jimara constituency, as Jimara has the highest number of cattle?
Honorable Speaker, I am honored to inform this August Assembly that there are plans for livestock drinking facilities to be constructed by the Ministry of Agriculture in the Jimara constituency. Within the framework of the Small Ruminant Production Enhancement Project, Sarenjobu cluster has been identified for the construction of a livestock drinking facility, solar-powered borehole with overhead tank and drum. This will serve both the cattle and the small ruminants in the cluster of the villages. Consultants have already been contracted by the Small Ruminant Project for the design and the supervision of the work. It is worth noting that there is also an existing livestock drinking facility in Jimara constructed by Basse Area Council, located in a village called Safalu, Siflasuna. It is also important to note that as part of the National Livestock Census 2016, Jimara's cattle population stands at 8,949, to be compared with other constituencies. Cattle production in URR, Basse 6,354, Tumanna 10,611, Kantora 9,126, Wuli West 11,253, Wuli East 12,641, Sandu 16,649. Other plans by the Minister of Agriculture are to ensure that clean drinking water is accessible to all cattle across the country, especially in URR and the CRR, where animals are more concentrated.
Thank you very much. Woolly is very soon. All of us will be moving over to Woolly is very soon, especially with Ramadan approaching. Jimara, let's allow. Yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for coming up with this number of cattle we have in URR. But then I just want to confirm, how soon will this project start in Sarenjobu?
In fact, it will start this year because all the recruitment and the site identification is completed. It will start this year.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, what is the criteria used and mode of distribution of cattle drinking points across the country?
Thank you very much. In fact, even mentioning the the animal populations around the regions, that's one of the criteria. Because you cannot compare West Coast region to URR, neither CRR. So it's one of the criteria. But I can also provide the selection criteria they used. Thank you.
Tumana?
Yes, it's just that I'm jealous. I just wanted to know whether if there is any cattle drinking point identified to be more specific in Tumana constituency.
At the moment, I can't give you that answer, but I will provide them. I will provide the comprehensive list of drinking points.
Any more honorable members? Yes, Birkamas North and then Eliasa.
Honorable Minister, does the ministry have any plan to transform the traditional pastoralism to smallholder ranching system in order to address this pasture and water management problem?
Thank you very much for the question. In fact, with this project, we are even targeting some commercial farmers because the question you asked, we need private sector intervention to promote small ruminant production in this country. And I want to inform you that some of these young people, especially boys, they are ready to invest on small ruminant production and even cattle. And especially even West Coast region, some of them have started. So to answer your question, we need a lot of private sector involvement in cattle production, especially livestock production.
Thank you. Ilyasa.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm just asking the minister whether you can put last consequence on the consideration, because there's nothing cattle can put last consequence. Please.
Okay, it will be considered because North Bank also is important, and I know they have a number of cattle. It will be considered.
What's his name again? Sammy? No? Okay, thank you. Question number 237 of 2020 by the Honorable Member for Lower. 237.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to withdraw the question.
Just a second, let me make sure that I have exhausted. Sorry, so please order. Thank you very much. Okay. Question number 55 of 2021 by the Honorable Member for Lower Fuladu West.
Thank you very
55.
much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Agriculture inform this August Assembly whether the 50 tractors recommended by the Select Committee on Agriculture have already been purchased by the Ministry? And if so, what would be the mode of distribution to the farmers? Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, the Ministry in the past has distributed a lot of heavy equipment to the farmer groups and individual farmers. But generally, due to poor maintenance culture and lack of expert knowledge, such machinery generally have a curtailed lifespan. This time around, for the purpose of sustainability and efficient use of the equipment, the Ministry decided to outsource the management of the tractors through PPP to a private firm with appropriate experts and conditions so that farmers can access plowing and other services reasonably and timely. Any revenue derived from the arrangement would be plowed back to ensure expansion and the sustainability of the scheme.
You have the floor, Lower Fuladu.
Thank you. Does your ministry has any mechanism in place in terms of accountability purposes attached to the collection of revenue generated from plowing and other services? If so, can the amount generated be reported to this August Assembly in a quarterly basis so that we can know exactly what the tractors have generated?
These tractors will be a private-led investment because the ministry has advertised these 50 tractors so that at least we can have a private sector who will manage the 50 tractors. But during the advertisement, it's only 2 private sector who applied, and luckily only one was succeeded. That's the Marwo farm. So at the moment, an account is opened. Any plowing done, the money goes to the account. So the collection, farmers are paying direct to the bank account so that at least there will be sustainability and the transparency. We are not involving any person to collect money from the tractor drivers, neither from the farmers. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister, can we have the amount deposited in the account quarterly so that we can know exactly the money generated?
Okay, it is noted, provided with the amount.
Thank you very much. Central Badibu.
Thank you. In your response, you made mention of spare parts, which are usually challenges. Do you have any plan to ensure that you have the required skills who will be maintaining these tractors in case they have breakdowns?
Thank you. The private sector is leading the implementation. But as a ministry, we have an engineering unit who are the experts to maintain these tractors. So the Marwo Fund is working closely with the ministry, especially the engineering unit.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, I just want to know, the private sector involvement in the management of this tractor, will that not compromise the price charged to thereby the companies to the farmers? Thank you.
In fact, I'm glad to inform you that even this year, because previously a plot they might charge up to $1,500 or $2,000, but at the moment, for ordinary plowing, the private sector is charging $1,000 using the ordinary plow. But if they are using the rotavator, whereby the tractor will plow and it will puddle and also level, we are charging $2,500. Why? Because the amount of the rotavator use is very heavy than the ordinary plow. Thank you.
Sorry, upper.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if I could hear the Honorable Minister very well. Yeah, the Honorable Member asked for the 50 tractors recommended by the Senate Committee of Agriculture have already been purchased. If so, he was asking whether these tractors have already been purchased. And in your answer, did you mention that yes or no?
Thank you very much. The tractors are purchased, but I want to remind you also, it's through the Japanese support. Yeah, it's not from the 100 million. It's from the Japanese support. Maybe he has missed the questions. Yes.
Thank you. Sabah Sanyal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Looking at the question, the Honorable Minister said it is even privatized. My question is, plowing is very important at the early part of the rains. Now, is there any assurance that farmers will access this plowing service when rains come, wherever they are in the country?
Thank you very much. I want to assure you that the private sector will distribute these tractors countrywide before the rainy season. And during the rainy season, farmers will have easy access to plow.
Thank you. Busumbala.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. I first of all want to thank the Minister for the modalities put in place to ensure accountability in the process of paying, that no cash is allowed
to be paid to a tractor driver when you go to a bank. Now, when we talk about farming, all our mind goes to the upcountry. We know that access to bank in these areas sometimes is difficult. Do you have any plan, in collaboration with the private sector that you mentioned, to have bank accessible to the farmers right up in the upcountry who wants to pay their money to have access to the tractors? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. In fact, the private sector is working closely with Supersonic and even the Ministry of Agriculture. And I want to inform this August gathering that even the farmers in CRR North and South who don't have cash to pay for this plowing, we did some negotiation with Trade Ministry. We are providing cash through Supersonic so that farmers can have access to plowing on loan, then after harvest they pay back. In fact, this year, if you go to Jahali Pachar and CRR North, almost 70 to 80% of the is plowed. That's why even last week I was out.
Thank you very much. Question number 15 for Sami.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Agriculture inform this August Assembly the level of implementation of the small ruminant projects?
Honorable Speaker, it is with pleasure to inform this August Assembly that the implementation of small ruminant project is in high gears. 15 veterinary outlets, small ruminant markets, 10 meat stalls, and 10 slaughterhouses. Community pastors had been identified through the implementing partners, Department of Livestock Services, Gambia Livestock Marketing Agencies, National Livestock Farmers Association across the country. The disciplines of the above named structures are in progress, including the training center at Yoruberikunda and rehabilitation of the livestock laboratory at Abuko. Madam Speaker, 5 microfinance institutions have bidded to be one of the two MFIs to be selected to implement the Islamic microfinance component. This follows advertisement in local newspapers and shortlisting renowned Islamic scholars in the presence of the Minister of Agriculture Contract Committee had conducted evaluation. Their recommendation had been transmitted to Islamic Development Bank. We are awaiting no objection to begin drafting the contract between the two would-be MFIs for the credit facility.
Do you have any supplementary questions? No? Okay. Honorable Member, any supplementary? Yes, nominated member, please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ma. Honorable Minister, telling us that this is in high gear, that is the small ruminants. Does that indicate that this towards coming, God willing, nothing will happen? We will have it in a very cheap and affordable way.
I want to assure you that there will be enough animals. Even last year with the peak period of COVID, we are able to have enough animals. And this year also we'll have enough with this small ruminant project.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I think you mentioned about 2 MFIs institutions. Can you tell us which are the 2 MFIs institutions you identify?
Okay, I will provide you a detailed report of that institutions, the microfinance institutions.
Thank you. Sabah Sajal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The Honorable Minister was saying there will be enough animals to come to the Toboski. How about the prices? Will the prices be reasonable enough for the most vulnerable?
Last year it was fair enough, and this year with this more dominant project, I think so it should be fair enough.
Central Badibu.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, the small ruminant project, the updates that we got from you kick off. Basically, the animals that they purchase, is it from our indigenous breeds or from other countries?
Thank you very much. It's going to be both, because what we have here will not be enough, so we have to get some outside.
Yes, any more questions, honorable members? Yes, Sabiji Latrikunda.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, do you also have a plan, like if you talk about this small ruminant project, to consider the area like the Greater Banyan area? Are we part of your plans in this small ruminant project?
Thank you very much. If you talk about Greater Banyan area, I think they are the end users. So maybe some of the projects we might consider them as a value addition, whereby they can add value, maybe the marketing outlets.
Thank you, Kantora.
Yes, thank you very much. Probably I would want to request for the Honourable Minister to give us statistics of the rumen projects of last year and of this year, for us to compare and contrast the level of development in writing, if possible.
Thank you very much. We have the report. I will share the report with you.
Question number 57 of 2021 by the Honourable Member for Kumbo East constituency.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, can the Honourable Minister for Agriculture tell this August Assembly the delay in rehabilitation work on the road between Birang and Faraba Bantan since its approval last year? Thank you.
Honourable Speaker, I am delighted to inform this August Assembly that this access road linking Pirang to Faraba is 2.1 kilometers. It is funded under the Resilience Project funded by the Islamic Development Bank under my ministry. This access road is progressing satisfactorily, and the contract has been promised to my ministry to complete the work before the commencement of the rains. The major constraint causing the delay or hindering completion is mainly the delay in payments from the Islamic Development Bank to the contractors.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Apparently, this road project has the positive impact on the life and livelihood of the people within that catchment area. How soon would this be justified? Thank you.
I want to promise you that before the rainy season, before this coming rainy season, it will be completed. Because these past 2 weeks, if you are following me, I was following the contractors who are working with our agricultural projects so that these projects can be accomplished as soon as possible.
Combo East. We are fine. Okay, thank you. Honourable Member for Kantora.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, giving me the floor. The Minister did indicate in our response that there is a delay in the disbursement of funds. The development agencies. Do you have any alternatives in case if there's a default in payment? You will ensure as a ministry to complete that. Do you have any other source of funding as well? In short, thank you.
At the moment, I want to even inform you that the person constructing those roads, the contractor, they already have their money. Since I went on tour for almost 2 weeks on land that is funding problem, the issue has been addressed. and inshallah, I don't think it will be repeated, because I asked my people to be informing me about the obstacle they have in the implementation of these projects. Yeah, because I seized that opportunity to write directly.
Mbala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Minister. I want to ask whether your ministry, as Minister of Agriculture, but you have a project in making roads. Quality of roads is important. Whether your ministry have any collaboration with your authority to ensure the lasting, the durability of these roads in terms of their quality, because we've seen some roads that have been done by a project under your ministry. They last within months and then become problems again. Do you have that collaboration, or do you have an office in your ministry to ensure stability of roads? Thank you.
Thank you for that question. At the moment, we are collaborating with National Road Authority. We are working closely with them. Yeah. So they will be supervising our works.
Fonyi Councillor.
Honorable Speaker, I choose to withdraw because my concerns were addressed by both Kantora and Bisumbala.
Sir?
Thank you very much, Honorable Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, I mean, the same project was from Bani to Nyabakunda, and it was not completed. Whether there is any possibility to...
Point of order. It's a point of order, sir. He's out of the...
Another one. Oh, but he's not around. Sami. Sami would have asked a similar question. But
I want to inform you.
Very much, honorable members. Question number 58 of 2021 by the honorable member for Sandu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can the Honorable Minister for Agriculture explain to this August Assembly if there are plans to establish a cold storage facility for the farmers in Sandu?
Honorable Speaker, I am honored to inform this August Assembly that there are plans through some of our projects to establish cold storage facilities for our farmers in the Gambia, but the sites are yet to be identified.
All right, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Minister, would the Minister consider establishing a market for the farmers in Sandu if land is available?
I thought the question touched on, was on cold storage facilities. Let's not take a chance, not take, have a second bite, but related to the question. Otherwise, let's allow others. Thank you very much. Larikunda Sabili, thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, though the Minister make it clear that he said just selected, but I hope this time around Greater Banjul area will not be left out because we are the end user.
In fact, the project who's supposed to establish these cold storage facilities is the root project. It's establishing 15 cold storage facilities. But I want to tell you that we're looking for strategic locations where many farmers can have access to those cold storage.
Thank you. Yes, I have seen many tags on. Yes, I have to use my discretion. I'm going to allow Fonyi Bondali because she missed out the Fonyi Bondali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have withdrawn my question.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I want to ask the Honourable Minister, hence she has done an assessment, would she give priority to areas that are heavily intervened in the NEMA project, places like Kantora, the Woodlands and Co.
Yeah, I think it's a good question, but I think it's fair enough to place these cold storage facilities in a strategic location, whereby if it is established in one of the community gardens, it might be a white elephant because they cannot continue to fill that cold storage. But with strategic location, a lot of farmers can benefit.
Yes, thank you very much. Fonyi Brevet.
Honorable Speaker, perhaps I need to withdraw my supplementary because my question will have been that of the criteria for the site identification. I think the Honorable Minister did adequately answer that.
Tumana, no, we'll come to you. We have come now.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. In terms of location, Tumana constituency is very strategic. And looking at the amount of horticultural gardeners in the constituents, because rest assured, we have...
We remember, in fact, at the end of the session, I had in mind to remind honorable members of the time allocated for supplementary. I think we've been very generous. It's 2 minutes or 1 minute and 2 minutes, but we've been very generous because I know the questions are very important. But it is also equally important for honorable members to be precise. Because usually the preamble is too long. It's too long. Just go direct to the questions. Huh? Thank you.
Yes, thank you for that. I just wanted to build a foundation, that's why. Yes, like looking at the location of Tumana is very strategic. And looking at the amount of horticultural gardeners in Tumana constituents, would you consider?
Thank you very much. I know Tumana is not far from Basse, and most of the farmers around Tumana, they do come to Basse to sell their produce. I want to assure you that Basse will benefit from the cold storage facility because it's a central location.
Thank you. Cantora. No, sir.
Speaker, he asked.
It's at the discretion of the Speaker. If the Speaker wishes, he can give me again.
Sit down.
Speaker, it's at your discretion.
No, I have withdrawn the opportunity. Please, you already had it. Busumbala. Okay, then Opanyomi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Honorable Minister, there is already an established cold storage facility in Obanyomi. So would you consider in bringing it back to life? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't promise, but we will try. But I know Bara is central. It will have a cold storage, and also Farafenye. Thank you.
Then that brings us to the end of the supplementary question on this question. Question number 59 of 2021 by the, please order one meeting by the Honorable Member for Nyamina East. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, the road project linking Nyamina Kudang to Bani is still incomplete. Can the Honorable Minister for Agriculture inform this August Assembly what is delaying the completion of the said project?
Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, I am honored to inform this August Assembly that the access road in question is built by the funded African Development Bank P2RS project under my ministry. The access has a total length of 18 kilometers, though when completed, would not only facilitate access to the rice fields by mainly women, but also enhance the evacuation of farm produce to the houses and most importantly, improve market access between the two communities. Yes, it is not completed, but the National Road Authority has completed an assessment of the remaining civil works and henceforth made recommendations for the said contract to be repossessed and subcontracted to another contractor with the view to complete the unfinished work. Madam Speaker, as we speak, I am delighted to inform this Honorable House that the African Development Bank funding this activity under the P2RS project has accepted the recommendation of the National Road Authority. Since then, procurement process to subcontract this unfinished work to another reputable contractor to complete the Kudang-Yida access road is at advanced stage.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, could you please enlighten me whether or not the delay of this contract was basically on the side of the contractor or was basically fund problem?
Thank you very much. I want to tell this August gathering that as a minister, I inherited this contract, and I'm doing my utmost best to see to it that this road construction is completed. Yeah, it could be both contract and funding, but I want to assure you that it will be completed.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, I have been, of course, receiving such stories that the road will be completed from all investigations that I made. So how soon do you think the commencement of the work will kickstart?
I want to assure you that before this coming rainy season, it will be completed. I will never compromise with this contract works.
Thank you. Yes, Inyani.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, this road, I use it very well. So it's part of my in-laws. So I think it's more essential for you to start this as soon as possible. If not, but before the rains, nobody can use this road. I've just came from there just yesterday. So please try to make sure that it has been finished.
I promise it will be completed. Yes.
Any more supplementary questions on this? No? Okay then. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister for Agriculture, for the questions, the answers given to the honorable members. And I equally thank the honorable members for their cooperation. Honorable members will, yes, please, thank you very much, your release. We'll recall that at the commencement, we did not have a quorum, or due to some administrative hitches, we could not deal with the votes. And I believe it has been confirmed by the table office that it has already been circulated almost more than 2 hours ago. So yes, so can we, not yet, you haven't read it? No? Then what we can do then is to allow you to read it. So tomorrow we'll do it together with today's vote. So then we can proceed with the other items on the agenda. It's not a problem. It's correct. It's procedurally right. So, Clerk, can we go on the Standing Order 51 then, so that we finish?
Thank you. Matters of the day with reference to Standing Order 51.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, the Office of the Speaker is in receipt of a request made by the Honorable Member for Kiang Central, seeking permission under Clause 51, 1 and 2 of the Standing Orders to make a statement to the Assembly on the current price of basic commodities and other essential goods. Honorable members, having considered the request of the honorable member under the provisions of the standing orders, that is clause 51.3a, b, c, and d, and 51.5, and noting that the request has satisfied the standing orders provisions, I now grant the honorable member leave to make his statement to the Assembly. However, I wish to draw the attention of honorable members to clause 51.8 of the standing orders, that the time allocated for matters of the day shall not exceed 3 minutes for honorable members who may wish to make statements, and the time allowed for the matters is 30 minutes. I would therefore urge honorable members to observe clause 51.9 of the standing orders for guidance and call on the honorable member to make his statement to the Assembly. Honorable member for, is it Kiang Central? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, please allow me to express my deepest concern on the exorbitant increase of prices of basic commodities such as rice, sugar, cooking oil, as well as building or construction materials like cement in our market. I must say that this is unjustifiable and therefore unacceptable. Honorable Speaker, please allow me to probe the question. What is the government doing about all this? I mean, what visible steps have they taken to curb this practice by a selfish few? There is a serious outcry from the poor majority of the population, and the government seems to be very insensitive and unconcerned about their plight. I want to remind myself and indeed my colleagues in the House that improving the living standard of all citizens and non-citizens resident in the Gambia and creating a favorable environment for private sector to drive is one of the reform policies of the government's 2021 budget that we approve. Thus, the government must desist from any attempt to drag this effort. Honorable Speaker, it is evident that certain businessmen in the country are involved in the act of hoarding basic essentials. This is, of course, illegal, and the government, which is the implementing and enforcing body of the laws against these callous malpractices, must do all efforts to take stand against such and bring back perpetrators of the practice. As far as I am concerned, the 2021 budget does not reflect any tax increment of the said basic commodities, and that could have attributed to the current price hike as it is our market across the country. Honorable Speaker, I would therefore suggest that without delay, the Ministry of Trade, Employment and Regional Integration must take practical steps to engage the business community and the relevant stakeholders in the business sector with a view to identifying the factors responsible for this unapologetic price increase that is causing so much economic burden on the citizenry, especially during such time that Ramadan is fast approaching, and find lasting and sustainable solutions to it. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, honorable member. May I now invite contributions from honorable members, but remember, yes, let me finish my statement. Thank you. May I now invite honorable members who wish to make a statement to do so now. You may raise your tags, but only to remind honorable members that the time allocated is 3 minutes and the total time is 30 minutes. So I will start recording. Yes, honorable member for nominated member.
Thank you.
To be very fair. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor to associate myself with the mover of the statement. Honorable Speaker, I do strongly support this statement. I do strongly support this statement. It is very clear, and this is a concern
to all citizens, and even the non-citizens. I think it is high time the Minister of Trade to take the bull by the horn, to show its ministry's efficiency, so that the citizens, the burden that are on the citizens can be, solved. Madam Speaker, you cannot just understand it as a bag of cement from a factory of $260 to $450, Honorable Speaker. It is not helping. None but the citizens themselves rocketing the price without no justification. It is high time the Ministry of Trade, in fact, these things should have not come to, before it comes to the National Assembly. The Minister of Trade, Madam Speaker, should have done something about this. And not only the cement, Honorable Speaker. People are getting tired. This is a concern of all of us, but particularly the responsibility given to the Minister of Trade. They should not be sitting up to by this time when people are suffering. And now again we are facing, according to the statement too, understand, we are facing the Ramadan. Where are we going to be? Where are we going to be? People must take the responsibility of their duties that is assigned to them. Madam Speaker, definitely without saying much, I support this thing, and it is the time now the government should do something about it. Gambians are suffering seriously. If I don't say it, I'll be lying, because I know how people are suffering. Price rocketing from $260 from the, no justification, to $450. Where? Not but only the Gambian people. Definitely the government should do something immediately. Immediately the ministry should do, the government should do something about this immediately.
Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you. Thank you. Birkama North.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. National Assembly has taken the giant move yesterday to allow the Trade Committee to meet during the session, to invite the Ministry of Trade and engage them on this matter. Today, Honorable Member for Chian Central added the concern of the National Assembly with regard to this situation. I think this will now address the position of the people. What is the National Assembly doing about this? As you are concerned, we are so concerned and serious about it, as the nominated member Samusa indicated. We thank you, Honorable Member for Chian Central. Madam Speaker, the price for basic commodities exorbitantly increasing is a cause of concern, which the government, I am so quite aware, as a matter of urgency and seriousness, should come in and address the issue. One cannot understand within this short period of time, increase of the price of cement 65%, from 270 to about 425. That's almost about 65% increment. We cannot understand that, and that is unacceptable. One will believe that what the honorable member indicated as an act of hoarding in these basic essentials, commodities. For example, for the case of the cement, the major producer, that is the jar oil, if not producing and others they have, because of that, exorbitantly they increase the prices. I think that's an act of hoarding as he indicated. Madam Speaker, the business community needs to do justice. Yes, I also concur with the mover that there is no increment in the tax. Why then would we have such an increment of the prices of the basic commodities? It's a cause of concern.
Thank you very much. Woolly East, 3 minutes from now.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there must be a way of controlling prices of basic commodities. We cannot continue to see this skyrocketing of prices every day. The ordinary people, their livelihoods are actually at stake. Honorable Speaker, rice, cooking oil, all these basic commodities are rising. The other day I went to a shop where I used to buy a particular brand of rice at 1,300. When I went there, it was 1,700. And no amount of bargaining could bring that price down. What is the reason? They could not explain. But then I believe there must be a way. All other commodities are also in the increase, and I believe government is not doing enough. This government is not doing enough to ensure that prices are stabilized. And I also believe that maybe we have to go into another strategy, that is the business people, how Gambia makes business with the currencies that we are using, mainly the dollar, which is always appreciating against the dollar. If we can divert to other currencies that are a bit stable with the Gambian dollar would help us. So I would urge this government and this National Assembly to work together to ensure that these prices are actually stabilized, because the whole country is now blaming even this National Assembly for this skyrocketing. It's not only the government. This National Assembly is being blamed for the skyrocketing. So the Committee for Trade should work very hard to ensure that the minister comes to answer some of these questions so that things are stabilized. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Talinding, did I see your tag? Yes.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I think I am in line with the Honorable Member of Woolly East, and I'm also in support of this matter of the day, and I commend the Honorable Member for Kiang Central to bring this to the attention of the National Assembly. Madam Speaker, the last time when the Honorable Member was laying such issue like this about the Sanyang incident, I counter it and I say it's a collective responsibility. We cannot put the blame on the government. But this time we are going to point finger at the government. The country will run into food scarcity if the government didn't do anything. This has become a norm. Every Ramadan, when the Ramadan is approaching, businessmen and women will be increasing the prices of basic commodity, and the government is mute about it. I think it's high time for we as National Assembly members, as elected representatives, to take our stand. Let the government come with a policy to put a price control mechanism. Even our own homegrown foods are being increased daily basis. If you look at the price of a native tube, it increased from $50 to $100. We cannot afford to be seen and our market prices to be increasing daily. Let the government come out and do something, and the trade minister as well. They have a very important role to play. They are not communicating to the people, and the price keeps increasing. Thank you very much.
Larry Kunda Sabiji, 3 minutes, please.
All right. Thank you very much, my honorable member for Kiang. Is it Kiang? Kiang Central. Well, Madam Speaker, I think as other speakers said before me, let me also use this opportunity to thank the Trade Committee for coming up with that giant step that they did yesterday, to invite the Minister of Trade to come before them and explain what is going wrong about this high price that we are experiencing in the country. Honorable Speaker, what people say here is true. I think if we are to blame, we got to blame the government of the day for what is happening. That is the truth. We haven't seen any measurement from them. You cannot just be increasing price of commodities. Today you go and buy something $5, tomorrow you go, they say it's $25. What is going on? And then this is also a high time for this parliament to take their stand. We want to know, it's not just a matter of summoning the minister to explain X, Y, and Z, but we want the committee to act. It is a high time we start taking things in that narrative.
Not only every time, we just have to send a report to the parliament, we read the report, debate on the report, but we definitely need to act this time around. I said, Ramadan is just at the corner. But not just only the Ramadan. Let's think about the price of the cement. From $265 to $400 and something. How is that possible? The bag of rice, how is it possible? This guy talking about the native food, the local native food that you go to the market that you can buy for $10 now, from $10 to $50. How is that possible? Well, we have to blame the government and also blame this National Assembly. Yes, we have to, because I don't think that we are doing what we are supposed to. Let us act. It is high time for us to act. It's not just a matter of summoning the minister and the minister will come and tell you a good story and you allow him to go. No. We have to take our stand as the National Assembly. Yeah, not only the committee. The committee always lay their report in the disciplinary here. All what we do is just we debate on it. That's all. So please, Honorable Member for Kiang, thank you very much for coming up with this.
Thank you, Fonyi Jaron.
Yeah, thank you very much. In fact, for me, I don't think I will take that much time to respond to the statement. In fact, the only thing is let's not confuse ourselves. I mean, we are people representatives. When we came at the beginning, we were blaming the former government of controlling the price controls. And now you said democracy, people are free. They will not look around to say somebody is behind me. Now, why not? The same people coming again to say government, let government come into people's own affairs. Come on, man, take your time. Thank you.
Cantora, I'm deliberately...
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Cantora, please, Cantora.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, allow me to also thank the mover of the motion for bringing matters of the day to Parliament. It demonstrates concern in this country, and so the motion is really fit to be discussed in these chambers. Honorable Speaker, people have to begin to change their attitude. You cannot just take the country for a ride or a ransom simply because you have been given latitude to import rice, edible oil and coal. Because of there will be popular demand, you want to capitalize on that, to extort poor people by escalating price unjustifiably. Nothing stopped the government. I am calling on the Minister of Trade. Last year, similar thing has happened, but then there was a price cap. Government has to come into force to make sure that in Combo area, in West Coast, in CRR, in URR, you cannot sell a bag of cement other than this price. You cannot sell a bag of rice above this price. That must be enforced. It is not a price control, but it's about standing for the poor people at this difficult moment. I don't really believe in this laissez-faire theories or liberalism that the markets need to regulate itself. We understand that we are running a capitalist system, but then also there's supposed to be measures in which the capitalists should not really go in extent of squeezing the last drop from the sponge. So therefore, Honorable Speaker, it's high time for government to act proactively with the National Assembly. This National Assembly has done enough for lifting 5% non-tax on rice. Up till now, there is no changes. But then, if you also blame the government, we have to blame our own people who are doing this thing in the market with us. They're not being fair to government, they're not being fair to people they represent. So therefore, I am calling...
Time is up. Fonyi Councillor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I will also join my colleagues in commending the member for Kiang Center by coming up with such an important issue, which is a burning issue as far as Gambians and non-Gambians residents in the country are concerned. Honorable Speaker, the reaction from members have manifested that it's a concern for all of us, and I now want to connect it to what is next, because I remember vividly yesterday a member of the Trade Committee requested for the Committee on Trade to be granted leave to pursue this particular issue with the minister. And plenary have actually given them that privilege to go ahead. But what is important and fundamental here is we engage the minister and the ministry, or maybe the stakeholders concerned. They come up with their narration, and then at the end of the day, I mean, the talking and the noise we are going to make will all die a natural death. Would it make any changes? It wouldn't make any changes. I think it's high time that those who are responsible, we put them to task. Let them understand that they are there to serve the interests of the Gambians and not to, like the member put it, pursue their selfish interests. I once said it to a friend that the manner in which I am seeing business flourish in this country, there will come a day an individual will dictate the price of cement, the price of fuel, and that is where we're heading to. Because it's been monopolized. And once it's been monopolized, if no remedial measures are taken, the trend will be worse than what we are glamoring today. So members, I want to urge that let us be with the trade committee upon completing their engagement with the ministry, whatever recommendation they come up with, we should all be seen standing in solidarity with them, then we can make a difference. Or else we will only be talking for the sake of talking. Thank you, Honorable Member for Kiang Central.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Fonyi Councillor. Honorable Member for Jara East. Floor is yours.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, I stand to be corrected that it does not require much intelligence to know that prices of basic commodities are going through the roof. Honorable Speaker, government has a part to play in this problem. Honorable Speaker, I believe the member for Kiang Central has done the needful, and the needful is to bring the problem to the attention of the powers that be, and after having brought the problem to the attention of the powers that be, I think they have a part to play, and I believe there are lessons to be learned in the statement of member for Kiang Central. And I believe fervently the government will find reason in this noble statement that was presented by the member for Kiang Central. Honorable Speaker, the lot is on government to satisfy the led. This is why we have government in place. The essence of government is not for cosmetic reasons. It's for the government to work assiduously in assuaging the plight of her masses. And I think this is what Honorable Member for Kiang Central has done. He has highlighted what ordinary Gambians are going through. And Honorable Speaker, as the name denotes, basic commodities, basic. These are not ostentatious goods or luxurious goods. They are basic. They are very necessary to our life. So we don't expect a price hike in these basic commodities. I hope and pray that government will find reason in this noble statement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Jara East. Your time is just. Now, may I now call on nominated member Yakumba Jaide. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Honorable Speakers, since I moved the motion yesterday, we've been following up with the Ministry of Trade on this matter. Unfortunately, the minister is out of town. We've received information he's been out of town for over a month, for whatever reasons we do not know. The PS was on his way to Dubai when we reached out. He was at the airport. Now we are stuck whether we're going to go ahead with this meeting with the DPS and the rest of the ministry or wait for the minister to come back when we do not know. But the issue here is the nation is frustrated about the prices of essential commodities. And I will blame the National Assembly just a bit because we do not have expertise in these areas. These are economic decisions that have to be taken and policy decisions. and it is solely the responsibility of the ministry. And we have the Essential Commodities Act. If there is any case of hoarding, we also have the Gambia Consumer Protection Commission. The Essential Commodities Act gives powers to the ministry to revoke the trade licenses of these essential importers of essential commodities if they are found wanting. The issue is the Ministry of Trade is refusing to act, and they are refusing to take other examples of other countries like Mauritius. Mauritius is a liberal economy. Anytime we invite the Ministry of Trade, they will give us an excuse of, we are a liberal economy, we are following IMF rules. But you need to put these IMF rules into context. If we need price control, we must have regulations on price control. We did it during the state of emergency period, and it worked. It controlled, but there was price control, and it controlled all the traders, even though it was COVID. Why can't we do that? And I think this is where it comes to the National Assembly, particularly the Trade Committee, to recommend for price control in this country. That would end this issue. Government needs to be bold enough to take the decision to put a price control on essential commodities for the benefit of the entire country. And they're always discouraging the National Assembly to move towards that direction. But I don't think we can shy away from this. If Ministry of Trade cannot come up with a policy decision on this, we have to do it to save our country, because clearly they are not carrying out their responsibilities as they should. That is why we are in this predicament.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Thank you. Your time is up. Honorable Member for Ilyasa, Floyd.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And now, let's tell the fact that the only thing governments are suffering because of the Ministry of Finance and Trade. The Finance and Trade is responsible of all these prices. Because if the Ministry of Finance is giving customs $11 million a target, so what are they going to do? Whether governments, whether they like it or not, the price has to go up. There are two ministers who are responsible for these burdens on the government: the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Work and Communications, because he knows what's going on at the port area. I mean, we aren't supposed to blame the Minister of Trade. Maybe he doesn't know the way the customs is operating and the port is operating. But these two ministers are responsible of all these things. Because if you are forcing customs to collect taxes, $11 billion yearly, what do you expect? They have no machines. The only thing they will do, they have to screw the business people so they got to meet that again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Member for Oluyundum.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First, let me thank the member for Kia Central for bringing this very important matter of the day that is currently a concern for every citizen in this country. But then I think most of the speakers have said the same thing. As of now, what we know is this entire, price increase is attributed to attitude as well in the business sector. We understand that, importers will be having these goods, and some of them will be even hoarding it because they don't want to sell it at the price that, customers or consumers want to buy it, until at the time that, when the demand is too high, and then they can bring it out and sell it at a price that they decide for themselves. I think it's important that the government take a decision in this. And when we say the government, we mean the Minister of Trade to step up and then take the decision, the bold decision, to ensure that they save this country from this mess. And then partially this National Assembly as well. In solidarity with the National Assembly Select Committee on Trade, the entire membership should stand by them so that the decision that we're going to take on behalf of this National Assembly can be implemented by the government, whatever reason or wherever they want to be. They have to implement the recommendation by the Select Committee so that this country can be saved from this mess. The issue is a concern, and everybody is frustrated, and then it cannot go further than this. Honorable Speaker, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Now close because we cannot go further. At this, honorable members, at this juncture, let me seize the opportunity to thank the honorable members that have participated according to Honorable member for Janjambore, the matter of the day is 30 minutes, and that has elapsed. For this one, you will not be able to come, including the other honorable members that wanted to come. The 30 minutes has elapsed, then we go by the rule. Then, let me turn it. At this juncture, let me thank each and everyone for your participation. And then I will now call on the clerk to
Thank you. With reference to Standing Order 51, the Honourable Member for Old Yundum.
Thank you, Clerk. Honorable members, my office is in receipt of the request made by the Honorable Member for Old Yundum, seeking permission under Clause 51, 1 in bracket and 2 in bracket of the Standing Order, to make a statement to the Assembly and congratulating the Gambia national team for their AFCON qualification. Honorable members, having considered the request of the Honorable Member under the provision of the Standing Order, Clause 51(3) in bracket, A in bracket, B and C, and of course D, and 51(5), noting that the request is satisfy the Standing Order provisions. I now again the Honorable Member leave to make this statement to the Assembly. However, I wish to draw the attention of the Honorable Member to Clause 51(8) in bracket of the Standing Order, that the time allocated for the matter of the day shall not exceed 3 minutes for the honorable members who may wish to make statement to this, and allow the members for the matter of the day is 30 minutes. I therefore also urge the honorable members to observe Clause 51(9) in bracket of the Standing Order for guidance. I now call on the honorable member to make a statement to this Assembly to this effect. Honorable Member for Oluyundu, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it is my privilege and honor to issue a statement congratulating the Gambia national football team, dedicated and talented young men who have registered the flag of the Gambia in the final phase of the African Cup of Nations for the first time after beating Angola 1-0 in AFCON 2020 qualifiers at the Independence Stadium. The Gambia force entered AFCON in 1975 qualifiers with the aim of reaching the 1976 final in Ethiopia. The country has since awaited to play a first ever AFCON competition, but to no avail. This qualification, therefore, is unprecedented and historic for Gambia football and beyond. Honorable Speaker, considering the Gambia's FIFA ranking at 157 out of the world, 46 out of Africa, and the lowest ranked team compared to all the teams qualified for the AFCON final, we therefore need to prepare well in advance to show to the world, especially the African continent, that we are ready to contest. This victory is attributed to effective facilitation of air transportation and collective teamwork, as indicated by the head coach in his post-match interview. Indeed, it is the first time for the Gambia national team to be accorded with a chartered flight participating in continental football, and this has proven worthy by the result demonstrated Facilitation of chartered flights contributed immensely in the preparation of any team for effective competition in any match or tournament. It allows the team to meet and depart to their destination without delay and boosts the morale of the team to the highest level. It also reduces the risk of the team fatigue, as players and coaches will reach their intended destination on time and settle down to make arrangements ahead of the competition proper. Honorable Speaker, qualifying for a continental football like AFCON is no child's play, especially for a lower-ranked nation like the Gambia, and this is evident by the success story of the Scorpion from the past generations today. However, with adequate logistical arrangement, proper planning and support from the government and its people will encourage and motivate the team to deliver standard and throw us far away to legendary status. With this momentum as a country, it is the responsibility of all and sundry to contribute effectively in supporting the national team through this unprecedented journey. AFCON final scheduled for early next year in Yaoundé. Honorable Speaker, therefore I recommend for the Select Committee on Tourism during sports to consider this matter of national interest in their subsequent engagement with the Sports Ministry. The government, through the Minister of Youth and Sports, in collaboration with the National Assembly Select Committee, should provide the required support, more especially adequate budgetary allocation to complement the Gambia Football Federation effort in preparation to AFCON 2022 finals. This will enable the team to conduct pre-tournament friendlies with counterpart countries, effectively scout Gambian-based players and those playing in the outside world, and also effectively transport players with the facilitation of chartered flights, lodging in comfortable hotels, and adequate incentive to motivate players and the technical staff. Thus, this adequate support of government and its people, the Scorpion are expected to have a successful tournament in Yaoundé. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, I would like to congratulate the head coach and the technical team for a successful breakthrough. Many have questioned his ability to help Gambia qualify for the finals when he was first appointed. Today he has vindicated his employer by registering a massive 10-point, leading Group D at the top of the table. I would also like to thank the government, particularly the Minister of Youth and Sports, for supporting the facilitation of the national team's participation during this qualifier. This is well recognized and laudable, a step in the positive direction. Without government's commitment and support, this victory would have been difficult to achieve. We all must therefore appreciate the effort by the government. Honorable Speaker, this unprecedented milestone has united us all and brought glory to the smiling coast of Africa, the Gambia. May I also take the opportunity to thank every Gambian, especially the soccer-loving fraternity, for the moral support rendered to the national football team. Indeed, your supports are very laudable. Hope to see more during the competition proper. Thank you all for your attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Oluyundum, for the statement. I will now open the floor for the statement from honorable members. Honorable Member for Tumana, how many minutes? Honorable Member for Tumana, 3 minutes.
Yes, thank you very much. I will be very precise. I think I will start from where my honorable colleague stopped. That's conclusion. I would also like to congratulate the head coach, the technical team, and the entire country for qualifying for African Cup of Nations the very first time in the history of Gambia. And Honorable Speaker, going through the matter of the day, where he has how can government support, I would also want to say this, where he said collaboration with the National Assembly Select Committee should provide the required support, more especially adequate budgetary allocation to complement the Gambia Football Federation effort in preparation of AFCON 2022 finals. This is very important. I think we really need to support these boys because when we support them, it's like we support the entire Gambia. And they're there to lift the flag of Gambia at a higher height. And again, I wanted to suggest that we as a parliament, have the photo of this football team in this parliament to show them that moral support, that the parliament is with them. When getting into the parliament, we have the photo of this team, the first ever team to qualify Gambia in the AFCON, so that that will also give them the moral support. Thank you very much, colleague.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Member for Brikama South. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I want to seize this opportunity to thank the person who came with this matter of the day. To be very much honest with you, I am very much happy. And I encourage you to do more with regards to the promotion of sports within the youthful age of the Gambian people. First of all, I quite agree with him. It's very great now. Everybody is happy and proud to associate yourself to this achievement, which the Gambia has been yearning for almost 46 years now. From 75 to 2021 is almost 46 years. To be very much honest, I want to believe that this achievement, if you look at it somehow, is kind of unprecedented. Because the much needed effort that needs to be put into this particular domain is not forthcoming. If you look at the Youth and Sport Ministry, there is a merger. The youth is a component of its own, the sport is another area, which has a lot of the highest gap that we need to solve, particularly football. I think this is very, very important. Qualifying for the first time after 46 years is a tremendous achievement. But I don't want to, I don't believe that we are only going there only for the sake of going, but we need to make that tremendous impact. And this cannot be done without the full intervention of the entire Gambia, more especially the government. It's very, very important simply because we have to understand our sister country that surrounds us, Senegal. We have a lot of youngsters that they play with us in different areas, even in the Gambia here. Now those are national icons.
Your time is up, Honorable Member. One more. I understand you have 1 more minute. Okay, 1 more minute.
Yes. In fact, if you look at it, the required support is given to those people. That is why they are able to make it up to that level. And I'm urging the government, we want to achieve a lot in this area. So let them support the team in every aspect to make sure that we are, at least if we don't win the cup, we are within the semi-final stage. I think that would have been. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Member for Fonyi Bintang, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I equally join the member for Olindum for thanking the Gambia Football Federation. Madam Honorable Speaker, I think I'll first thank the Ministry of Youth and Sports for the first time in Gambian history hiring a chartered flight for the boys to go out of this country, which is a great achievement. It helps them morally. Honorable Speaker, I equally thank the coach and the technical team, and also thank the players and the whole Gambia for giving this support in one way or the other to the Gambia Football Federation. Honorable Speaker, I'll last thank the Gambia Football Federation, the GFF. The GFF has done a tremendous job in making sure that Gambia qualify for the AFCON 2022. They have searched for a good coach and a good technical team that we all know that they have done a great job to make sure that our boys have qualified for AFCON 2022. Honorable Speaker, I think this is a great achievement and a great history for the Gambia, for that matter. We should all come together to make sure that AFCON 2022, the cup, they bring the cup to the Gambia and qualify for the World Cup. So this is a great achievement. Honorable Olindum has urged the National Assembly Select Committee to make sure that the budget for the youth, as well as for the sports, is considered. I'll also urge the National Assembly members here, 2022, when the budget is going for youth and sports, I think we should approve it as it is. Because we are going for 2020 AFCON, which is more expensive. You know, sports is expensive. So we should help them financially for them to have what they want to bring cup to the Gambia. Honorable Speaker, I think the GFF should start preparation by now, because 2022 is at the corner as they prepared for the AFCON qualifiers. So to start preparing now so that when the boys, especially the players, would be supported morally and financially. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Member for Nyanija, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And then I just wish to join my colleagues also to express my thanks and appreciation to the Gambian national football team. Actually, they have made everybody proud, being a football lover and a keen follower of football. Definitely, that day I was very, very proud, because after Gambia, I do support other teams, but Gambia is my Gambia, and I support Gambia, whether we lose or win. So, winning in this aspect and then qualifying to the finals is something which you know that it's worth celebrating. There was clause in the standing order that we can use to be able to clap here. You can even do that, but unfortunately it's not possible. So definitely I wish to thank them, and also wish to thank all those people behind this success, because they could not do it alone. They needed support from the entire Gambian people and also from the ministry and the government at large. And I think they have received that, but still there is still more to do, because that was the preparatory stage. Now we are there, we are going to the final stage. We need more resources, we need more support at all kinds, definitely. And I think, as the mover of the statement said, this is the time we need to join hands, heads, and everything as a country, and make sure that we give them all the financial support and whatever, to make sure that we are not going there to compete for the sake of competing, but to bring back the trophy here. Definitely we need that, and the history have to continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Nyanija. Honorable Member for Brikama North.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I would like to join my colleagues to thank the mover of the statement in honor of the recognition of the performance of our gallant senior national team. On behalf of the Select Committee and indeed the entire members of the National Assembly, I would like to extend our heartfelt congratulations to the Gambia Football Federation, to the President of the Federation, Mr. Lamin Kababajo, the coach and the entire team, the fans, the business fraternity, the media, and by at large, the government of the day, for this tremendous support they've made to the team, and that led to the qualification of the team to the first ever AFCON competition. Mr. Speaker, we did not get in the championship qualification only for the sake of qualification, but as a main contender. And indeed, having ranked as the one part of the lowest, we proved that we could be among the best, and indeed we proved ourselves right. Having qualified, we are not only going to participate just for the sake of participating in the championship, but to be a serious contender, and our aim is to go for nothing but a gold. The Gambia for Gold dream, I have this belief that this time round is going to be realized. All we need, as the mover of the statement indicated, concerted effort, all hands on deck to give motivation and support to the players, from individuals, the football fraternity, and the government, so that we realize our own objectives. In trying to achieve that, I want to thank the GFF and the government for extending the contract of the head coach to 5 years. I think that's the right step in the right direction. This is going to help the team towards its preparation as the mover of the statement clearly indicated. Yes, his call for the select committee to engage the ministry and then the GFF also, the committee will endeavor to ensure that it's done. The call by Honorable Member for Fonyi Bintang for the support of the National Assembly to give a healthy budget to Ministry of Youth and Sport come the next budget. I will also add my voice to that. In fact, we have been eyemarking this. That's why we call for the increment of the budget. But people were stressing that the sport development levy is there. I will say that's not enough. That's what
Thank you, Honorable Member. Your time is up. Thank you very much. Honorable Member for Kian Central.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me also join my colleagues to thank the mover of the statement, Honorable Member, for all you know. I think what he said in the statement, early preparation is very essential. So this required a concerted effort and then support from each and every Gambian to make sure that the Scorpions have the required and necessary support. And in addition to that, financial and then moral support also very, very important. Football is really expensive. It cannot be done in the absence of adequate financial resources. And therein, it is important. Let us not leave everything in the hands of government. Individually, I am urging and I'm suggesting each and every Gambian to at least contribute $5 towards the budget of our sport, towards the budget of the Ministry of Sport, and then get these boys well prepared. We don't want to have problems. I mean, it's how many years now? We all spoke that we've never been qualified. So if this happens, I think we should all work together to make sure that they have the required necessary financial support so that they perform expectedly. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Member for Woolly East.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me also join my colleagues to thank the mover, Oljundum, for the congratulatory message to our gallant Scorpions for their qualification to the AFCON 2022. Honorable Speaker, the Gambia first entered AFCON in 1975 qualifiers with the aim of reaching the 1976 finals in Ethiopia. And that's why it is history today when the Gambia finally enters the qualifiers and qualified for the Yaoundé tournament. Honorable Speaker, the football will not improve unless we all put our efforts into football. And we will congratulate the government for doing the effort, but we will also not forget about the individuals who are in the football fraternity, fighting every day, doing everything that they could to ensure that football improves. The Furugomeses, the Sillas, and the diasporas are sending football gears every day to the provinces. Honorable Speaker, we will not also improve football unless we involve the whole country. The selection process must be equitable, must be fair, so that competition is done all over the place. We must encourage the Ministry of Sports. We must also improve their budget to ensure that the stadia that should be built across the country are built so that football is improved everywhere. Honorable Speaker, I congratulate the Scorpions, and I will congratulate them again. They have done a very good job, and we will continue to cheer them, encourage them, to ensure that, lend our support to them, to ensure that this tournament that they are going to attend, they come up with flying colors. We don't want them to just go and play. We want to make a mark. And as a young team that is entering the AFCON, if you go there and just play, just for the sake of participating, it will not all go well with us. So we want to do everything to make sure that when they go, everybody in the world will notice that Gambia has indeed participated in this thing, and we want to come with the goal. Honorable Speaker, we all know how difficult it is for young countries, small countries like the Gambia, to make a mark. But if we all concerted effort, put all our efforts together, concertedly, we'll be able to bring the goal to this country. Thank you very much for giving me the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Lower Salem. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor, and also like to join my people to thank the mover, Honorable Member, for all union. It's a good move. Honorable Speaker, football is an investment. Gambia's government, we need to invest in football from the grassroots where it is and go to the higher stage. Honorable Speaker, today, one footballer, they are paying a huge amount of money in dollars. Honorable Speaker, I like the government of the day include the National Assembly. When the budget of the youth and sports comes here, we also try to put their budget allocation with a good allocations, whereby we can also encourage our youths. Because also, I would like to thank the Honorable, the Ministry of Youth and Sports. They also did wonders. This is the first time hired a charter flight. Definitely, the boys knows that the government of the day is up to their performance, because sometimes this also can also make a psychological defeat, whereby you don't encourage your footballers. Before going to the pitch, they already defeated by their psychological. So it's a good move by the ministry and the youth fraternity, and also thank the Gambian people to collaborate with strengthening the unity of this country. Unity can bring everything, but without unity, there will be a chaos, and that chaos we don't need it. Honorable Speaker, and here also, Honorable Speaker, also thanking also the minister, the youth, the minister, sorry, to extending the head coach mandate to 5 years. It's a good move because we cannot see giving another coach also starting from scratch, going with this team. That will cause a lot of noise. Well, as far as the head coach is the period is extended to 5 years, I also thank the ministry on that, and also the National Assembly members. Let's focus on the budget line, whereby we also try to facilitate their movement to 2022, and to see that they are well equipped, whereby we will need the trophy, whereby also the Somali Coast of Africa will also the flag of the Somali Coast of Africa will also go to the higher stage. Honorable Speaker, on that note, I would like to take my seat and thank the mover of this particular matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Lower Salem. Honorable Member for Talending Kunja. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The Mighty Scorpion celebrations still continue, and I think it's really worthy because this is the first time in the history of the Gambia for Gambia to qualify for the World Cup. So we are praying for them both in and out. So, and we are also calling on every Gambian to support them and to make this day as an international day for them as a kind of appreciation and motivation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Member for Jara East. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the country was thrown into a state of jubilation, fanfare, and razzmatazz once the Scorpions were declared victorious. Honorable Speaker, this is unprecedented in the annals of our footballing history, and therefore the boys need a tap on their back for making us proud. Honorable Speaker, Gambia could be a footballing nation just like Brazil, as and when we give our boys the necessary support that they need. And I think the whole country will agree with me that the boys need to be supported at all costs. For far too long, we have been trailing behind in terms of football. And I think this victory, Honorable Speaker, has sent a message, and that message must resonate with the entire government population. That is, we must learn and try in our endeavors to sustain the gains. We must try and make sure we maintain the gains that have been registered. That is, we must keep the flag flying. And to do that, we need to give our boys the moral booster. Once they are given the moral booster, they will be emboldened to bring more glories to this nation. And I have no doubt in my mind that these boys, in terms of making us proud, the sky is the limit. Honorable Speaker, allow me to thank the mover of the statement profusely for having the foresight to bring this to our attention. This goes to show that the mover is a footballer and he loves football. And we thank you for the passion that you have for football. And we wish one day, you'll be called Star of the National Assembly. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Member for Jara East. Honorable Member for Busumbala, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I thought you forgot me. Let me thank my honorable colleague for the foresight to come up with this statement to show to the world and the Gambian people that the National Assembly is for the people, by the people, and will remain by the people. That we work for them, and we also recognize their good effort that they do. Honorable Speaker, this is one aspect of life that the government is reluctant to spend on, which can be an income-generating sector for the country, which is the sport. But I join my colleagues to congratulate them. My point of debate will be on how to sustain it, how to sustain this one, and then he talks about enough funding. I want to urge my honorable colleagues in the Committee of Youth and Sport not only to lobby for proper budgeting of sport, but let them try to create a budget line in the coming budget 2021 or 2022 for only the funding of this competition, AFCON, in 2022. Let them try to work with Ministry of Finance to have a budget line specifically, because if not, if it is given, a bulk amount of money is given to the ministry, sometimes they can use it in another aspect which is not, was not the intention. So that's why I brought this issue. Honorable Speaker, I said my intention is how to sustain it. You see, it is very clear that Gambians have talent in football, and Gambians have talent in every sport aspect. You see, Gambians will struggle to go out. When they go out of the country, they become stars in those countries. Why can they be identified here as stars? Is because the facilities are not there, the motivations are not there, the proper funding is not there. So it is as a warning to the Gambian government that Gambians don't miss skill. We have the skill, but the facility is not there. So they have to create the facility for the Gambian youth. That means they have to go back to the grassroots. You see, let them go back to the communities. This no answer the communities are conducting. Let them be empowered. Let them go back to the schools. In our days, we have school sporting. But now it's dead because the government is not funding today. So I want to urge the government to fund it.
Honorable Member for Busumbala, your time is up, please.
I have already spent...
Your time is up, please. Your time is up. It's unfortunate. Honorable Member... It
is not a surprise to me. I know you're...
Honorable Member for Busumbala, sit down. Your time is up. Unfortunately, Honorable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji, Sabasanjal, the time allocated is expired, and then you will not be able to participate. But your good intention is being accepted. At this juncture, I I now take the opportunity to thank all the honorable members that have participated in this debate, and those that had the good intention, but because of time, they were unable to. I thank each and every one. I now put the question, be it resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned until Thursday, 1st April 2021 at 10 a.m. Prompt. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. This Assembly now stand adjourned until Thursday. This Assembly now stand adjourned until Thursday, 1st April 2021 at 10 a.m. prompt for the adjournment debate. Thank you. The Assembly now stand adjourned till tomorrow, 10 a.m.